All right, my friends, welcome to another video lesson. In this lesson, we're going to be building your bin structure inside Premiere Pro. Now, it's important to keep everything neat and clean at both the file level and inside the software. So we're going to head over to the project panel here, and we're going to create the bin structure to house all of our creative assets in that organized fashion. And we're going to use our folder structure at the file level as inspiration to do this. We'll loosely mirror what we've done there. So we want to start by creating bins, but before we do that, we want to make sure we're in the proper view inside the project panel to do that. So we want to head down to this area here where we've got a few different controls. You can see we can switch to list view here, use icon view, freeform view, a slider to change the size of the icons and thumbnails, and then a sort button too. We want to make sure that we're in list view, this button right here. By default, the first time you open Premiere, it's usually in icon view. You want to switch to list view for the purposes of this class. And now we want to begin creating bins. So there are a couple of different ways to do that. You can use the new bin button over here, and yes, it looks like a folder, but it's actually a bin, so please refer to it that way. You can click on it, and it creates a new bin. And I'm going to call this bin GFX, just like at the file level. And then what we want to do is make sure that we click off of this bin before we create another one. Because if we don't and create a new bin, it creates a sub bin inside of graphics, and we don't want that. So we want to make sure we're clicked off of it, then click the new bin button again, and we get a separate independent bin. And I'm going to call this one media. Now you can see these are not in alphabetical order. We can correct that by clicking on the name bar up here. And you can see by doing that, I can arrange them in ascending or descending order. Now to create my next bin, I'm going to use a keyboard shortcut, and that is Command or Control B. And this will be our MX bin for music. Next, we're going to create our SFX bin for sound effects. And you can see I skipped over a few of the folders that we have at the file level: docs, outputs, and project. We don't have a docs bin because normally you're not going to bring text-based documents into Premiere because you don't edit with those. And outputs is where the finished products that we create with this project will live, and we're not normally going to bring those back and edit with them. And then we don't have a project bin because, well, this is the project. But we are going to create one more bin that we don't have as a folder at the file level. And that is the SEQ bin, which stands for sequence. And that is where we're going to store the sequences that we create by editing things into our timeline here. As soon as we drag clips in here or edit them in from the source monitor, a sequence will be created. And you can see right now, the timeline has no sequences in it. So understand that sequences are housed when you're actively editing in them in the timeline, and then you can store all of your sequences in the sequence bin. So this is the standard bin structure that I would like you to use for the remainder of this course. If at some point you want to get more particular and create sub-bins inside these, go for it. But you must have these main 5 bins as your organizational structure inside Premiere Pro. All right, my friends, that does it for another video lesson. I'll see you again in the next one.